Right, welcome to our weekly YouTube video. Last week we were privileged to have James from Blue Nova live at our factory. Such an interesting Q&A session. Thanks for all your questions and comments, and for all of those who viewed online to our session last week. In fact, it was 2 weeks ago, but we aired it last week for you on our YouTube channel. Right, today we're talking about the three hot topics we've covered so far this February in this month of love and our love for solar. We spoke a little bit about the versatility of a microcare system, adding to it, and we'll touch a little bit on that today. If I'm going towards winter, I'm aware of a price increase coming from Eskom's side. How can I mitigate all of that? We spoke about the 12B tax allowance 2 weeks ago. What a great opportunity for businesses. Don't miss out. Encourage you to get that in quickly before the end of the month. And who knows where we go from here in terms of the tax allowance. There are lots of rumors going around in the market. But today we want to talk about this increase that's been given by Eskom, and of course municipalities will add or take away. We'll see what happens for each municipality. But what does this sort of mean for consumers, and how do we mitigate this? We know there's price increases confirmed for the next 3 years, different prices, and we'll know the full extent of that over the next couple of weeks. So how do we mitigate against that? And today we want to just talk about by adding solar and by adding battery. And batteries are becoming so cheap these days, it's actually financially making more sense to invest in another battery to mitigate the price. But let's quickly first look at solar. I'm going to just pick on a typical system of a house that might have sort of 10 or 12 panels. Let's go for a 12 panel bank here. So something that very common, 12 solar panels, and it's producing around about 30 units of electricity per day. Obviously, we are considering rain and overcast conditions, but on average, around 30 units per day. At the moment, we're paying about 4 Rand in our metro, so saving about 120 Rand per day. And you can see that adds up quickly into a month. Now, if I consider how the versatility of the microcare system by adding another string of panels, let's just say I add another 2 panels, whether it be on this side, next to them, or different part of the roof, whatever it is. What's the capacity of these 2 panels? Sorry, I'm not mentioning, let's work on a general 500 watt. I know there's lots of sizes of panels, but 500 watt solar panel, if I add another 2, that's an extra 1 kilowatt hour, 5 hours of sun. I've got an extra 5 units of electricity. At 4 Rand a unit, that's a 20 Rand per day saving, 30 days, 600 Rand. So you can see very quickly, I am going to mitigate a 12-15% increase in electricity just by adding 2 panels. And we know that this is really affordable. So you can see it's quite easy to actually mitigate increases in electricity pricing by just sort of adding more panels. Yes, there is consumption and there's battery supply and all that to consider, but I think this is just showing the versatility of solar. And with a microcare system, adding another 2 panels into a system is really easy to do. Go look at one of our videos we spoke about recently about the versatility of microcares, our MPPTs, which are outside of the inverter, giving you that flexibility to be able to adapt. So there's a really good way for you to mitigate the rising energy costs. And you can sort of play this out in a bigger role, monthly costs, and adding a lot more. But just by adding 2 more panels, my potential of 500-600 Rand a month savings easily mitigates the rising energy costs. So low capital spend and easily able to mitigate the rising costs. But let's look at battery. I'm going to move over to this side if that's all right. Eh? Yeah, we've got space there. So if I look at a typical battery over here, my Koki goes a little bit dry there. And I'm going to go for about a 20,000 Rand investment for a new battery. So that's adding to the current system. Again, microcare system, easily adaptable to this. If I add another lithium-ion battery at a value of 20,000 Rand, what kind of costs am I going to get? What kind of savings am I going to get when it comes to then looking at the rising energy costs? I mean, that could be a significant saver for many households by just having an extra battery, maybe to get them through the night or those overcast days like we're having here in our city. So if I consider just the lifespan of this system, let's just call this a typical 5 kilowatt battery, and let's just be a bit conservative. Let's just say I'm only going to get 4 out of it, Depth of discharge we want to consider. So I'm going to consider 4 kilowatt hours. So if I just take a simple 4 kilowatt hours, 365, and 10-year usage, if I just sort of type that into my calculator, I'm getting around 14,600 units of electricity. 14,600 units of electricity. Sure, when I consider how much that is in Rand value, we're looking at a significant number here. This will give me an idea about the kind of costs I'm going to save over the time or the period of 10 years. If I look at that same cost and I'll take it down right down to per kilowatt hour, and I'll just jump ahead to avoid you with some boring maths. I'm looking at around about 80 cents, if you can see in my board here, about 80 cents a unit of electricity over a 10-year span. And get in contact with me, I can show you a little bit more of the maths of that. But for 80 cents a unit of electricity, a 10-year life of battery versus, of course, what we're paying now, 4 Rand and upwards, I mean, it is a no-brainer. The return on investment is significant. Of course, we're going to be looking at whether we've got the capital costs or not. But I think what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is with a battery, with solar panels, your return on investment, mitigating a rising energy cost is quite easy. And because the microcare system can be flexible, customized as per your energy requirements, a rising energy cost, making the right investment in another battery or some more panels could actually sort you out. And you won't feel the pinch of the rising energy costs, which we know are coming. Every situation is different, but get in touch with us. We'd love to help you make sure that you're getting the most out of your solar system. All right, thanks for watching. Hope this was helpful. Of course, we are continue to encourage you in your solar journey, a sustainable journey, and encouraging you to be off-grid. All right, from myself and the team, stay tuned. Of course, every Tuesday, make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.